In five, four, three, two, one. Thanks for listening to the Android Experience podcast. This is a show where we keep you posted on what's new in the world of Google and Android and share our experiences with the platform. This is our episode 13 on Tuesday, March 29th, 2016. I'm your host, Patrick Vergadamo, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Todd Wright and Bill Stebbins. What's up, guys?
Howdy, howdy.
So, getting straight into our news, or what's happening, information on app releases and updates. Waze has come out with an announcement that they're going to be bringing speeding alerts. Unfortunately, it looks like it's only going to be starting out in Europe and Latin American countries, with the U.S. coming later. How much do either of you ever use Waze?
I use it a lot.
I don't use it a whole lot, but I do like the traffic notifications that I get out of it.
Yeah, I've been using it more too since they got the Morgan Freeman voice in there.
I was about to say, me too.
Go ahead. I was just going to say the only thing that kind of confuses me about this headline, it's supposed to bring you speeding alerts. I thought you used Waze so you could
Speed?
so you could speed more.
Well, according to this, though, you'll be able to set it so that because in the article actually that we linked in our show notes actually talks about for those places where if you go the speed limit, you might become roadkill. The setting's going to actually let you put either to what degree over. So if you're on the interstate, if you're like me and try to go no more than 10 over, you can put it so that it won't alert you unless you go more than 10.
10.
Too many.
Can we just do multiples of the speed limit?
Everyone knows you have to get at least to 88 to activate the flux capacitor.
That's right.
I'm so if I ever got pulled over speeding, where I'd almost want to try that just to see if I could get a laugh out of the guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, I'm like you, Todd. The Morgan Freeman was interesting. I wish they would have kept the C3PO one, which was kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Speaking of other updates, Google has started rolling out an update to its text-to-speech program. I don't know about you guys. I've always liked that feature because to me it lets me feel kind of like Tony Stark when I can set my stuff to sound like Jarvis.
Yeah. I tried to fool around with that, and I can't really see much of it or hear much of a difference. What about you guys?
I still think it needs some more tweaks. I mean, most of the time I've been left to go use third-party apps for it, just so because it gives you more pitch control and things of that sort. But at least it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. It doesn't sound like I'm, it doesn't sound like I'm talking to a real person yet.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of shallow of me, but whatever.
Skynet doesn't want to tip you off yet.
That's right.
That's right.
Our next one is kind of a blast from the past. I don't know about you guys. I still use the Google Goggles app occasionally, but supposedly that functionality is going to be coming into the camera app. They're going to be merging many of those features so that you can take a picture of something and search and just have it be built into the camera app itself.
That would be handy because I don't remember the last time I used Goggles. I would like to be able to use it for stuff, but I just don't actively even install it, to have it to even think about using it.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Bill. I really just don't use it a lot. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this will get people to start using it more.
Yeah, and I mean, for Google, it's a no-brainer because anything they can give you more ways to search things, that gives them more data. So I think, Todd, you had actually posted on Twitter about this one. Street View, at least currently now for a tie-in with the Batman movie and Batman Superman movie, is letting you tour the Batcave through Street View.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, so it's got an entry for the Bruce Wayne residence, and it's kind of I guess I haven't seen the movie yet, so I guess it's kind of the set for where he's at and then if you like walk down the hall, it'll take you into the back cave, and then you can look around the back cave and stuff. One question I had about this whole thing and about Google Maps, on there it says, I guess with any business it says there's a link to claim this as your own. I wonder if they would actually do anything to you other than just remove it from your list of places you own. Because, I mean, you could claim it, and then I guess you would technically be Batman, right?
The first thing I would do is anytime they sent me a cease and desist, I'd just send them back a clip saying, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman, that's right.
I'm Batman.
I don't think Google would do anything to you, but I just wonder if claiming, like, the movie's property.
That's hilarious.
So, I don't know.
You should totally try that and let us know how it works out.
Yeah, right.
He gets a visit from Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I'd say the lawyer should try it out.
And another app that's got an update is the Chromecast app, which apparently is no longer Chromecast. It's going to now be called Google Cast as part of the rebrand. And the update also, as the old app used to only let you kind of control your Chromecast, the update now will give you full control over it, your audio dongles, as well as the third-party speakers and things that are coming out, to be able to control all those devices from the one app. So I guess it's one app to rule them all, and to Google bind them.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I have the casting thing in Chrome, and I never quite understood why it was a Chromecast and not just, I mean, I guess they have to call it something, but that to me kind of implies some kind of tie to either Chrome OS or Google Chrome, and it doesn't necessarily have to be either.
I kind of wonder originally, though, if that wasn't the idea, is you would cast from the Chrome OS devices, as well as originally, even though it stayed in beta forever, you had the ability to cast from Chrome, whatever was on there.
And I think when it originally came out, though, I think that's the only thing you could cast from. It just worked in Chrome.
And I do think originally their thought was that Chrome OS was going to come kind of their upper-end mobile stuff for laptops and some of the higher-end tablets, and that this would have been part of that. And then last but not least, under app updates, Google Photos, there's the update that started rolling out. I don't know if you guys have ever ran into this situation. If you start immediately editing something in Google Photos, sometimes you'll lose your original photo. Well, the update is now going to automatically provide to save the original. So even if you start going down the rabbit hole of editing something, you can still have your original if you want to start over or go back to the source picture.
That's nice, and that's the way it should be. But let me ask you this, and it's not necessarily Google Photos. Well, I guess it's not photo related, but does it drive you guys insane when you take a screenshot and you can't immediately edit it?
Yes.
Like, why can't I get a save or a delete, or share or delete? Why can't I edit? Because sometimes I want to crop or whatever, and I have to, go back out of that and go into the Photos app and find it, and then that's just, I wish they'd fix that.
Yeah, do it more on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, when I take a screenshot, sometimes there's stuff I don't want in the screenshot.
That was what the beauty of the Note, because you use its screen capture and then do it before you imported it to wherever you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's brilliant, and they need to include that. Not because I'm asking, because I'm telling. Hear me, Google?
I mean, it would be nice. I mean, especially like to incorporate that functionality, because I know if you're taking the picture through, say, like for Twitter, I don't want to have to go take a picture, go out, edit it, and then go into it, because the camera app, the way it accesses it through Twitter, it doesn't give you that functionality either. If you built it into it so that all the other apps could share that functionality when you're taking a picture to edit it on the fly, it would make it easier not just when you're taking it for a screenshot, but also any photo editing when you take a picture.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things they added into Google now is the ability to take and share a screenshot with one or 2 clicks, and that's super awesome. But you can't
super
edit
dangerous.
it. Do what?
And super dangerous.
Well, I mean, it depends on which account you're logged into on your Reddit, right?
But I mean, it's one of those. That's a good case point though, Bill, for being able to do that editing when you're taking the picture, because you don't want to. You may not want it automatically uploaded without a small tweak. You may catch something where you need to edit that out, or you need to crop something out, and to be able to do that without having to leave it. So it's still the same idea that you take it, you make a final tweak, and then you post it. You really need to have that functionality.
Yeah, but I'm totally on board with the Google Photos. I mean, I freaking love it. Every time I have to switch devices or phones or whatever, all my stuff's there and I don't have to worry about it. And as soon as I plug in at night, it uploads everything. So I'm on board with it, and I'm glad they're kind of pushing forward with some of the changes. But yeah, they need to fix the screenshot thing. We'll revisit that next year.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if we get anything from Google I/O on the photo stuff, since photos are becoming a bigger and bigger niche area.
Well, I think they probably don't feel so bad about talking about photos now that people are actually saying nice things about the Nexus cameras.
This is true. I mean, I know just from the Photos app, I also heavily recommend it to any family members using iOS, because if they don't have a Mac where it's easy to pull all their stuff off their device, because I mean, trying to back up on a PC can be a pain in the butt. And so a great way for the family members who are running out of space, like on their 16 gig models and things of that sort, or my sister who can suddenly find a way to fill up a 128 gig iPhone, it's a great way to kind of have it automatically back up your pictures and everything, because it does well also for iOS. And I like the fact that the Google Photos app will let you know what you've already backed up and remove it off your device within the app.
Yeah, that's been a huge feature for my daughter, who has the Moto G. She's only got I think she's got the 16. Yeah, I bought her the 16, but still, that's not a lot of storage. So every so often she'll say, "Dad, it says I'm out of space and I can recover space." I'm like, "Well, let's just look and make sure that it's backed up first." Okay, it's backed up. Go ahead and say
Nuke it.
Yes. Yeah.
Nuke it. So I guess kind of moving out of the apps and into like some of the bigger stories, one of the ones, and I know, actually let's save this first story for the end of our top stories. One, I know, Bill, I think you have, and I know because I got mine because you had recommended getting it years ago, the Google Wallet physical card.
No.
But supposedly they have basically announced that as of this summer they're phasing out all support for it. I don't know about you, but I still have places around here where that could still be helpful, because they don't all have the ability for NFC and digital payment. And it's not like we can all have fancy Samsung phones that make chirping noises to work on those.
Yeah, boy.
Todd's laughing at us.
Yeah, boy.
As a parent, my biggest use of the wallet card is being able to let my daughter take a credit card with her and being able to control how much she's spending. And she'll say, "Hey, I found something on whatever," and I can throw $20 on it from my phone, and it's no big deal. It's available to her instantly.
Yeah.
I've been trying to kind of use the Google Wallet payment stuff more, because that, for me, that's fine, because you can actually access that money from the wallet card, but most people aren't on board with it. So I think that it could have done a whole lot more. It doesn't seem like they pushed it a whole lot.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that it'd be interesting to see if Google tries to adopt some of Samsung's technology for the Samsung Pay stuff into Android, just to kind of give it that ubiquitous use.
Let's hope.
And I was going to say, kind of like you talked about for your daughter, I've actually used mine before as a way, kind of like a prepaid card, for if my nieces were going like on a field trip or something somewhere. I'd put some money on it instead of giving my sister the money and having them carry cash. They could take that card and use it.
Yep, it's perfect for that.
And because it was so limited on what was on it, if for something happened to it, it was low risk. And unlike those prepaid ones you find like in the grocery store, there's not all those hidden fees.
Yeah, those are ridiculous.
Well, rest in peace, Google Wallet card.
You put that on the shelf with your coin. Card.
So, which I still have that in my wallet. It still works. The next one, I have a deal alert. Bill would like you to actually put earmuffs so you don't hear this one. But the 32 gig Nexus 9 is apparently currently on deal on Amazon, and we have a link in the show notes. Go as soon as you can because that may sell out. But currently, the 32 gig Nexus 9 is on sale for $299 with Prime shipping. So for those of you who live in areas where you don't get taxed by Amazon, that's even better. But Bill would like to, now that you can take your earmuffs off, that you can get his used N9 for cheaper.
That's right. Buy mine. It
And
was
you
you.
know his works.
Autograph it.
Oh, well, no, that adds value right there.
Yes, definitely.
You also know Bill's works.
Yeah.
As spoken from someone who's had situations where they've received stuff from Amazon that was not new or working.
Yep.
So T-Mobile, and Bill, we have talked about this for years. T-Mobile is rumored to be offering a simple choice data-only plan starting supposedly tomorrow. We'll see if that happens. But this is something we've talked about for a while back when you had first told me about the $30 unlimited plan. We kept saying with the Nexus tablets, it'd be nice, especially if you live in an area that has at least some T-Mobile coverage, to just get a data-only plan for cheap.
Yep. And that's, I mean, you could theoretically do that, and with your phone. I mean, with as ubiquitous as VoIP is now, I mean, you don't need to have an actual carrier provided phone number.
Yeah, let's say even with the $30 one, when I had the Nexus 4, I didn't use the minutes for it because of Google Voice with Groove IP.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting, I think I saw that it still included unlimited text, so that was even better.
Huh. That is interesting, then. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't talk on the phone hardly at all anymore. I do enough of that at work.
Yeah. And my thing is, I'd rather talk to people in person. I've just never been a big, let's sit on the phone and talk.
I'd rather just text them so they can't ask me stupid questions. They have to type
and
it
you can
out
just decide, oh, sorry, I couldn't, I was doing something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, I was
text
helping my daughter with
didn't come
homework.
through, apparently.
Yeah, so if that image in the link is true, it does include unlimited texting.
Nice.
That's cool.
Another kind of big story that's kind of I guess gearing up for Google I/O, especially in the recent news with Apple and the FBI, is that Google's Project Vault is supposedly rumored to be bringing either easier access to encryption, and basically that supposedly Google has kind of upped the ante given some of the FBI's tactics with Apple to try to beef up the encryption for Android. And that supposedly it's going to be part of one of their keynote speeches at Google I/O.
Yeah, so two things from that. One, it looked like it was more than just Android. It looked like they're, trying to increase encryption on Gmail and, other web properties. And the other thing about this whole thing is screw you, Google, for not selecting me for a Google I/O ticket. So
Yeah.
Just want to throw that out there real quick. Not that I'm bitter.
Thanks, Google. He was our ticket in.
I know. So much for the live AndroidXperience coverage of Google I/O. Disappointed. Oh well.
That's Google's loss. And so for the last top story for this, supposedly, and this hit about an hour before the show, Google had announced a 25% discount program for the Pixel C for developers, and that supposedly they've extended this discount to non-developers. It's only certain countries, but the U.S. is one of them.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad none of us went ahead and bought a Pixel C.
Yeah, us non-developers. Yeah, that would be completely outlandish to do that if you're not a developer.
But so I applied for the discount code. We'll see how it goes. But supposedly it's been opened up to non-developers, so we'll see.
Yeah, when I did mine, I got it in an hour or so, and then I sat on it for about a week before I finally pulled the trigger.
So that's kind of really the only big news that's kind of been out and about the last couple of weeks. Obviously, for those from our last episode when we were talking about the FBI and Apple thing, if you haven't heard the news, supposedly the FBI was able to break into the phone on its own. Surprise, surprise. It's kind of easy when you're the government, and that they've basically, because of that, they've kind of withdrawn everything from the courts because they know they'll lose at this point. So kind of going into our buy or sell section, for those who have tried out the Gear VR, apparently the users for Gear VR are going to be getting courtside VR feed of the men's Final Four and championship games, courtesy of the NCAA.
That's actually really cool, and I don't really care about football at all.
Oh, wow.
I think Bill just confirmed his claim that he doesn't do sports.
I do sports. Just not dumb with
the basketball game. But I mean, to me, it's interesting because I mean, this is something. If it works well, you may start seeing with other sporting events to be able to give courtside footage. I mean, it goes beyond sports because I mean, one area where I could see this gimmick working really well would be things like wrestling, where high-priced seats are almost impossible to get for like WrestleMania or something. To be able to offer you, well, if you sign up for the app for this month, we'll give you free VR courtside experience.
Yeah, I was using something like this the other day with my Gear VR to watch I think it's like some kind of boxing match. I'm not sure which app had it. It was pretty good. The only thing I didn't like is they kept moving the camera angle, going to different cameras.
Oh.
So you'd be watching it and get a good perspective, and then all of a sudden you'd switch to a different perspective, and you're like, oh.
Teleporting you all around the room.
Yeah, basically it's what they were doing.
First, then you get, we're streaming NASCAR. Mm.
Yeah.
You just sit there and do your head left to right.
Yeah.
And he goes around again. But I mean,
on the front bumper.
Could you imagine also like UFC to give you like cage level, like stuff that you normally could never do, even if you were there live? They could offer like exclusive, like true courtside type experience. I mean, that in itself would make VR even more appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely got some up and coming stuff that is really going to get people engaged with it.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't go the way of 3D TV, like when we first started, like ESPN 3D, which they finally killed because nobody used it.
Well, I was listening to Howard Stern today, and he was talking about VR, if you can believe that. He's only interested in it for porn. So his thought was there's certain parts that he likes to watch and certain parts he doesn't like to watch, and if he's got a way to control that, then he could focus on what he wants to focus on and kind of not look at the twig and the berries.
It would definitely make an interesting plane trip.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to happen. We'll be talking about that probably a year or two.
If that, yeah.
Yeah, it won't be long.
I mean, look at Google Glass. It's not even out anymore for the most part, and that was already out.
But to actually be able to experience that in VR would be kind of weird.
But I mean, in
I don't know,
general
kind
to
of
be able
creepy.
to experience things. I mean, the next push would be movies. So instead of 3D, it's a POV view of movies, which now we're starting to see. I forgot what the name of that sci-fi movie that's supposed to be all done from point of view.
Yeah.
Oh, something
So I mean,
hairy.
it'll be interesting. Next kind of thing for this is Google is apparently offering $10 a month home phone service for its Google Fiber customers. I find it kind of funny because in most of the articles talk about why would you offer home service since everybody's moving away from it, and they're like because people are used to being able to have it.
Well, I think it's funny that they're charging $10 a month for something that we have been doing with Google service for years for free.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah,
what do I know?
weird.
That nice little Obi-Hi.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some reason they're doing this. I
Well,
don't know.
the thing for theirs is by being a formal one, it'll have 911 support because they'll have to have it.
Right.
But I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean for the person that's not tech savvy, it
Yeah.
does. But I mean you can do that on the OB-Hi. It's not a they make it easy to sign up for $12 a year for 911 service or whatever.
I mean, that's the big thing. Google's response for a lot of this is we don't necessarily expect a lot of people to do it, but if you have some people who are hesitant to go over to this because they want to keep their home phone, especially maybe your older demographic, it gives them that peace of mind that they're going to have that home phone that they expect. So,
yeah, my mom is one who wants to keep her home phone, and I thought about just setting up an OB-Hi and switching her number over, and then I remembered what a pain in the ass that would end up being every time that there was some. I mean, mine works like clockwork. I don't have any problems with it, but I can just imagine.
Come fix this.
It's just not worth. Yeah.
The
I'll just let her pay $30 a month.
For your peace of mind.
Yeah. Hell, I'll pay the $30 a month.
So Google is rumored, and I think we kind of knew this was going to be coming, that they're rumored to be creating their own Amazon Echo style devices. I mean, it makes sense with Google Now and the way that they're pushing that out, and with the Google Cast stuff, that they would be creating their own devices. I mean, if I remember correctly, I think we've talked about it before. There were stories coming out from CES that they were going to be working with third party to kind of incorporate Google Now and stuff into their devices. And, and Amazon was also trying to do that. So
I just actually bought an Echo yesterday off a guy. He had won one in a contest and didn't need a second one, so I got it off him, and it's really pretty neat. But some of the downsides is, when you want to add something to a shopping list or do stuff like that, you have to do it to Amazon branded app. And with the Google one, you could do it straight to your calendar. And
well, I think the big thing is if it would integrate. I could see where it would integrate with Google Now, your Nest devices, just all of those things to kind of talk with each other. Plus, with the Google Cast, all your Android TV stuff. I mean, it makes sense to kind of have some kind of device that could talk to all those and would become other than just your phone. Because when you're at home, you may put your phone charging or sit it down because you don't want to pick up text messages right now. And so to have something built into some kind of device that stays at home and just acts as like your Nexus hub for communicating to everything and gives you kind of that Google Now AI type experience to interact with would be nice.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten on board with this just because I pretty much always have some device by me that I can use. But I think if Google does one and it'll integrate with all the Google apps, then I might be more inclined to jump on it. Every time I try and jump on something Amazon, I just can't. It just feels like I'm forcing myself to use. It's not a natural thing to use.
I agree. And I mean, case point for like your garage you're working on, this would be something you have in there so that when your hands are full and stuff like that, you could have something to interact that you don't have to pick up a phone or something, or you don't want to get it near what you're working on. just have this kind of set up so it's always there and becomes your hub for accessing your stuff through a voice.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And so kind of our last one under this, it's come out that Netflix has admitted that they have been throttling AT&T and Verizon customers, supposedly under the auspices of protecting you from your bandwidth limits, your data limits. I don't know about you, but I did see an article. I couldn't find it again to link it, but supposedly they've come back and now said, well, we're going to upgrade it and fix it so that you can choose if you want it full open or if you want to be throttled.
Yeah, they're backpedaling now. It's pretty sad. I just Netflix to me seems like the company that would, oh, we love net neutrality unless it applies to us. Now we don't really care for it too much.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting there thinking, I can understand. Yeah, you're thinking, well, we don't. I could see if it by default it did it, but maybe let people know, hey, if you want to open this up, have a warning and things of that sort. Call attention to it, but don't just do it without letting people know that you're doing it. To me, that was shady. And especially for me, I have unlimited with Verizon, so I don't care. I don't want to be throttled. I pay for unlimited. Let me have it.
Yeah, I was a little shocked to hear that, but I don't ever stream Netflix on any of my devices, but my daughter does all the time, so I was thinking, man, I wonder how much data that saved me.
Well, for me, the other part of this was, I don't know about you guys, I actually paid and upgraded so I could have the 4-screen and with the ultra high def streaming. Well, if I'm doing it on my mobile device, I was paying for something they were specifically not giving me.
Right.
That's kind of shady.
So I guess moving into our picks from the panel, our plus ones and minus ones, Todd, what you got for us?
Of course, I don't have it on right now. I put it on the charger. So I have had a Samsung Gear S2 Classic and really liked it. I liked it was the design of it was nice. The one thing I liked about the Classic is it had the actual leather bands and stuff on it. But then the one thing I didn't like about it is I no longer could actually make phone calls Dick Tracy style or look like a real geek. So T-Mobile started selling the 4G version of that watch, and I picked that up, and for me right now that's the best watch out. You don't even have to have your phone with you other than that initial pairing. It's kind of standalone. One thing I did notice, it is slightly bigger than the S2 Classic regular. Not a whole lot, but the casing is a little bit bigger and the screen is just a hair bit bigger, which is kind of nice. The battery's a bit bigger. I can, usually when I get in from work and put the watch on the charger, if I put it on at 7 o'clock at night, it's probably still got 50-60% battery left. It's got built-in GPS, so it is definitely pretty much a standalone style device.
Interesting. So about you, Bill?
Well, mine is this. This is the Pixel C, and I don't know if you can see the back of it lights up. That's the best feature of the whole damn thing, right there. No, but Pixel C, I got it thinking that I wanted to upgrade from my Nexus 9, and originally when I got it, I loved everything about it, but the screen size it's not quite as compact as the Nexus 9. If you hold it without a case or anything on it, it's just super premium. I mean, well, I think it was like close to $400 with shipping or with tax and stuff. But it's a super premium device. It runs really well. The screen's beautiful. There's nothing I don't like about it other than the screen size took a little bit of getting used to. It's more iPad size than it is, whatever smaller size. But so that extra that extra little bit of screen size, it's nice to have. It just took a little getting used to. So I considered sending it back just because of that, but I pushed through, and yeah, I'm loving it. Battery on it is pretty darn good. I mean, they advertise it at 10 hours, and I get every bit of that. So I can, if I'm sitting downstairs working on something and I've got something streaming on it, I don't have to worry about the battery going dead. You know, I can pretty much go all day with it, using it pretty much constantly, and I haven't seen the battery get below about 40%, and that's after using it constantly the whole day. So it's nice to be able to be on something that also has USB-C. So there's only one phone or USB-C, which is my youngest daughter. I don't know if I mentioned that to you guys. I upgraded my oldest to a 5X, one of the ice blue ones or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They had them on sale, so I rewarded her.
Just think, if you had kept your original one, you wouldn't have to buy a new one.
Yeah, that's true. But yep. So Pixel C, so far I'm loving it. I know Johanna on the Twitters has gotten one too, and he's really liking it as well. So I don't have the keyboard or anything. I don't do much. It's more of a consumption device for me than it is a productivity device. If I want to be productive, I use my MacBook.
You're not using N on that by any chance, are you? The beta.
No, and I'll tell you why. I was running in on the Nexus 9, and video streaming apps don't work other than YouTube. So that's kind of a deal breaker for me because I want to be able to watch movies and stuff. So when they get that worked out.
Yeah, that would be a good device for me. The thing I'm interested in with N, and then also with things like Remix OS has been able to do windowed Android apps on it.
Yeah. So
that'd be a great carry device if I could do that.
Yeah, as soon as that gets working in, I want to check out, and hopefully the free floating windows work.
Right.
Dice Player already has a free floating window, so you can watch a movie or whatever while you're doing other stuff, and that seems to work fine. I haven't noticed any slowdowns or stutters or anything on it, so been real happy with the performance of it. And it's on sale right now. If you're a non-developer, us developers, we got it first, but
just hit the markup. And I will say this: I'm curious to see how, after like a couple weeks, if you're still enjoying it, because I've been wanting to go back to an Android tablet, and I really did not like the 9. It was just something that I didn't like. I was telling somebody the other day, I really wish they'd come up with an updated version of the 7.
Yeah.
To me, like I've actually fought off the urge to go buy like a refurb 7, just because to me that was one of my favorite tablets of all time, the 2013 Nexus 7, and so give it some more RAM and a better processor, and that thing would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean honestly, if the Pixel C was a replacement for the Nexus 9 in the same size, I think I would be totally in love with it. But it's definitely, you can feel the upgrade when you use the device. So there's no you don't look at it or use it and go, oh, this really isn't an upgrade. I mean, it's a definite upgrade.
Yeah, and I will say this: I don't know if you guys follow him, but Michael Fisher, who was with Pocket Now, he's talked extensively how he's loved the Pixel C. Because I mean, for him, it works perfect for his productivity aspects with the keyboard. But he's had nothing but good things to say about the Pixel C.
Yeah. So I mean, at $100 more than the Nexus 9, I mean that I would definitely recommend the Pixel C over the Nexus 9 if you're buying them brand new. But if you're buying used, definitely buy my used Nexus 9.
We'll even let Bill put a little link to it in the show notes.
No, I don't need anybody else commenting on Swappa about, hey, did you know Amazon has them cheaper? So I'll offer you $180.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way, dude.
Oh, I hate people.
Speaking of used refurbish, mine, I had picked up, those little cheap $13 Bluetooth dongles that are for line in, like to plug into your auxiliary port on a computer, like in your car if you don't
Yep.
have Bluetooth. I really like the one I had. I mean, it works really well for streaming music, but the little mic they have built into them are horrible for when it comes time to try to have a phone conversation in your vehicle. So I started looking at different Bluetooth speakerphones just to have something better for when I'm driving, so I could stay hands-free at least until I can finally upgrade my radio like I want. And so I was looking online, and I've got another one I'm going to be trying out. But the first one I tried, I found a good deal on the Motorola TX500, which had really good reviews historically. As most of them, the retail price is outrageous for most of these. But the refurb I was able to get, I think it was $18 prime. And so I picked it up, tried it out today, and my sister and them were like, "Wow, you're really on Bluetooth?" Because I mean, it was super clear. I like the fact, even for someone who isn't very technically inclined, it actually gives you voice instructions when you turn it on. It says, "Now ready for pairing. Go to your app. Go to your settings on your phone to Bluetooth settings." It tells you, here's your pin if you need it. It does it all through audio, and then once it's paired, it's done. It has support for using like Siri or Google Now and things of that sort. So I really like it so far. And so for $18, it's kind of a no-brainer. If you're looking for something to use in your vehicle to do hands-free call, it's great, and it's easy to it charges via micro USB. So it's definitely something I would recommend if someone's looking for a solution in their vehicle.
I had one of the earlier Motorola ones, and I don't remember what it was. It was
the Roadster, maybe.
It was a 6 something,
but
I used that quite a bit in my old car, and it worked great. I was real happy with it. It had great battery life, and I used it mainly. It had an FM transmitter too, so I could Bluetooth to it and then transmit over to the FM.
To use your speakers and for your radio for the speakers.
Yeah, because my old school car only had a CD player in it.
I'm surprised. Most people's old cars, Bill, has
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've kind of looked because I know for a while Motorola had some that had like a line out, so that you could use exactly that. And I know the newer Roadster I looked at, but its refurb was like $80, and so I was like, I was going for a cheap option because my ultimate goal is to upgrade to like one of those Pioneer Android full touchscreen ones that have, and those have built-in Bluetooth. They support both Android car and Apple. So
sounds like you need to update your car instead of yours.
Hey, I'm gonna run this truck until it dies. I've got a 2007 F-150 and it has barely over 80,000 miles. So I mean,
nothing
the
wrong
little
with
I
that.
drive and I can haul stuff. I like it. Just needs a better radio. You can tell it's antiquated because it's got satellite radio and a 6 CD in-dash. So I mean, it's definitely got room for like a nav kit and everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
So with that, let's everybody let our listeners know where they can reach us. How about you, Todd?
You can. Best place to reach me is at Todd W on Twitter.
How about you, Bill?
I'm easy to find at Bill Stebbins on Twitter.
And you can find me at LSU Law 2009 on Twitter, and you can find me and sometimes Todd at the Tech Todd podcast on our network. So in closing, you can find us by simply searching for AndroidXperience or TechSide in your podcast client of choice, or you can subscribe to our show in iTunes, and once Google Music updates it through Google Music, please take the time to leave us a review and comment. Alternatively, we have another link for our non-iTunes listeners, which can be found right here in our show notes. We also have a Patreon page. This gives our dedicated and loyal listeners the opportunity to support the podcast for as little as $1 a month. If you'd like to support us, visit our support page at patreon.com/techside. Leave us a comment on Twitter at AXPpodcast, or email the network at axp@techside.net. Check out our website at techside.net/AXP. And you can also be sure to check out all of our other great podcasts, blogs, photo galleries, and the TechSide store at techside.net. We thank you all for listening. Goodbye and good night.
Good night.
Adios.